all come from different places, different paths, different spaces, bringing so many questions, bringing our pain. We come from different families. Each of us has a story. Stumbling into the light, I see people like you and me. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, we value complete acceptance of who we are. In this room, we walk towards complete forgiveness. In this room, we learn. The learning never ends. And we can choose anytime we want to begin again. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, there's gold dust in the air. In this room, possibilities everywhere. In this room, we stand when our hearts are torn. In this room, a new way of being together is being born. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to come from different places, different paths, different spaces, bringing so many questions, bringing our pain. We come from different families. Each of us has a story. Stumbling into the light, I see people like you and me. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, we value complete acceptance of who we are. In this room, we walk towards complete forgiveness. In this room, we learn. The learning never ends. And we can choose anytime we want to begin again. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, there's gold dust in the air. In this room, possibilities everywhere. In this room, we stand when our hearts are torn. In this room, from different places, different paths, different spaces, bringing so many questions, bringing our pain. We come from different families. Each of us has a story. Stumbling into the light, I see people like you and me. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, we value complete acceptance of who we are. In this room, we walk towards complete forgiveness. In this room, we learn. The learning never ends. And we can choose anytime we want to begin again. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, there's gold dust in the air. In this room, possibilities everywhere. In this room, we stand when our hearts are torn. In this room, a new way of being together is being born. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, we open our hearts in this room.
Good morning. And good morning to the new faces in the room. Welcome. All right, so we're going to get started with our April birthday celebrations. And I know we have some happy birthday actually on today. Carter. And so everybody else that has an April birthday, please stand so we can celebrate you. And I know who you are. All right, so let's sing happy birthday. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Excellent. We are grateful you were born. It's just like that. All right, so before we get into our first community song, I want to take a moment to thank Reverend Frank for being our reader and our practitioner this morning, because he has the task of thanking people, so it just makes sense to thank him first so that he's not getting thanked. So thank you, sir. All right, so I invite you to stand. We're going to get started with our first community song, This Little Light of Mine. Here we go. You gonna turn that up there, Vaughn, for me? There we go. Let me restart that so I can hear the intro. If you pushed it all the way up, Vaughn, I think we're good. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Love the harmony. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Okay, practical verse. In the grocery store, I'm gonna let it shine. In the grocery store, I'm gonna let it shine. In the grocery store, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Greet your neighbor and wave at our online community. Good morning. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Good morning. Excellent. Please be seated. And I'm going to turn this over to our host this morning, Mindy Derrick. Maybe. Mindy?
Gotcha. Thank you. Welcome to our Sunday celebration. Whether you're here in person or joining us virtually, please consider sharing our live stream on your social media platform that you use whenever it's convenient. Member of the month is Dr. Lisa Gordon. Where is she? There she is. Dr. Lisa started attending the center in 2013 after being invited by Claudette from the Women on Purpose group. Dr. Lisa shared she was moved to tears the first time she attended and felt she was home. She loved the knitting group and taking Science of Mind classes where she learned the formula for prayer, which comforts and supports her. She has attended other churches and synagogues and finds the Science of Mind philosophy is a good fit for her life. Dr. Lisa said, "I enjoy seeing my friends and people I care about. I love our values, especially kindness and oneness. And even though we don't talk about it, I love being connected with my family, Jesse and Vaughn, at the center. It felt like family when I arrived, and now my family is here with me." Quote, unquote. "It means so much to me that they attend and serve along with my partner, Michelle. I carry these principles and wisdom with me into my work as, quote, fairy godmother of chiropractic whole body wellness, unquote. And through all the challenges we've been through, I am so glad I stayed at the center, and I'm looking forward to growing our center so that the Science of Mind teachings can spread to others, because I love this philosophy and way of life." Dr. Lisa served on the hospitality team and currently serves as a sacred reader and host. Thank you, Dr. Lisa. We are grateful for all you do at CSL Common Ground Community. So if you would like to recommend recognizing someone as a member of the month, please email Deborah Ellis at deborah.aslove@gmail.com. And here we are. And if this is your first time experiencing the Center for Spiritual Living Common Ground, welcome. Whoever you are, whatever your spiritual path, you are welcome and celebrated here. Please check out information on our welcome table and complete a guest information card over there. And please join me in affirming who we are, our vision, mission, and identity. Our vision is contributing to a world that works for all. Our mission: we are a diverse community of belonging and growth, sharing the light and joy within ourselves while learning to see it in others. Our identity: we are a welcoming, inclusive spiritual community where everyone can be seen and heard. We lovingly practice the principles of Science of Mind in the world. You can access all of our activities and offerings through our events calendar, which is cslcommonground.com/events. And that is on our website, cslcommonground.com. For additional information, email your questions to info@cslcommonground.com. You can also call or text our office cell phone number, 410-750-8559. And here's a couple of upcoming events. There's a Women's Circle gathering, Tuesday, April 7th at 7 p.m. on Zoom. Show up and be part of evolving your Women's Circle. The link is available in the newsletter on the website events calendar. Journey of the Soul is a 6-week CSL certified class that invites you to experience your inner divinity while honoring the beauty of who you are in the here and now. Classes are Wednesdays, 6:30 to 9 p.m. April 22nd through May 27th. This is a $195 investment in yourself. There are numerous discounts and payment options available. Detailed information and registration link is available on our newsletter in the website events calendar. So check our website calendar for more offerings and ways you can get engaged in your community. Right now, let's engage in singing our next community song.
How many people are experiencing joy? You get that the world did not give that to you, right? So it can't take it away. And here's a song that reminds us. Here we go. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. And there's that. All right. So our community value this morning is kindness. Who's experiencing kindness and would like to share? This is a time where you get to, this is our Science of Mind version of testimonies. Yeah, amen.
About a month ago, my mom passed. And the kindness that I've received from so many in this community and beyond has just been healing. And you can't hear me?
There
you can hear me? Okay, I'm sorry. I was saying that a month ago my mom passed, and the kindness that I've received since then has just been healing. The healing from this community, the care and the outreach from members of this community, and the care and outreach from so many different places. And yesterday I opened a card that arrived, and it was from all the ladies that I work out with. And I'm the only guy in this class of ladies, and they didn't know where I disappeared to when they found out. And I received this card with all of their signatures yesterday, and it was just like, wow, the world is full of kindness, and I'm grateful.
Thank you. And whenever I need a mental picture to lift my day, I imagine Eamon in class. But he knows that, so. Kindness. Yeah, Megan.
What comes to mind is the kindness I give to myself, that a lot of the time it seems like the extent to which I beat myself up is out of my control. Like I'm just a victim experiencing it. And somehow lately I've been able to catch it. And I found that I have an option. And I can bring kindness in. And it's been pretty great.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, Harry.
Well, as I think about kindness, it's about the kindness that really helps when things change and you struggle with that. Kindness really helps. So the other night, Lily and I are in bed, and with great reluctance, Lily says to me, she puts her head down so she doesn't have to look at me, and she says, she says, I really like going to bed with you. It's just that I don't sleep well when you're still here. So I'm going to invite you to come to bed with me, and then I'm going to invite you to get up and go to the other bed later. And I had her come up to where I could look her in the face, and I told her how much I appreciated hearing that from her. And she said, well, I'm sure you've been thinking the same thing because you're not getting enough sleep either. And I said, yeah, but I want to really praise and admire you for being the one that said it. That was so wonderful. That was a real act of kindness for me.
Nice. Excellent. All right. Isn't it wonderful how we can actually grow and shift in our relationships? So we have some new folks, so let me tell you about the wheel. The wheel is a divine idea that came on the drive home one Sunday, asking creation how to give this center and service back to you. And what came was remembering that I actually had this tucked away at home, and so I drug it out and invited people to ask questions that you wanted me to speak about, so that I'm actually speaking to your concerns and your curiosities and your questions, rather than me trying to figure out what I should talk to you about. So we got rid of that volume of Shouldapedia. And so every Sunday morning we have our overarching theme, right? Open at the top for the year. This month it's on becoming, and today it's about practicing presence and awareness. And so we're going to spin this and see what question we're going to address in the context of all that.
It's a new one.
And it is, what if all this spiritual growth is just too hard? All right. And so we're going to take that into our time of meditation. And what I do is I just listen for what wants to be said about that in the context of everything else. And so I'm going to invite Reverend Frank, who is our reader this morning. We're going to do our candle lighting ritual. We're going to do our sacred reading, and then into our meditation. And Reverend Frank, also being our practitioner, will bring us out of the meditation with our opening treatment.
Our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, was a dedicated study and a great synthesizer, identifying the common and connecting threads within the various religions, philosophies, and ancient wisdom teachings of the world. Science of Mind is a synthesis of Ernest Holmes' lifetime of study. Let's breathe together as we light a candle honoring some of these faith traditions. As we light the first candle, we honor Christianity as a path of love and forgiveness. As we light the second candle, we honor Buddhism as a path of compassion and the Four Noble Truths. As we light the third candle, we honor Judaism as a path of ethical living through sacred law. As we light the fourth candle, we honor Baha'i as a path of unity and peace. As we light the fifth candle, we honor Islam as a path of surrendering to the will of God as the highest calling. As we light the sixth candle, we honor Confucianism as a path of deliberate tradition. As we light the seventh candle, we honor Taoism as a path of harmony and balance. As we light the eighth candle, we honor all indigenous peoples' traditions as paths that recognize and honor the spirit in all of creation. As we light the ninth candle, we honor Shintoism as a path of optimism and the inherent goodness of humanity. As we light the 10th candle, we honor Hinduism as a path of knowledge, action, and devotism. As we light the 11th candle, we honor Akan as a path that honors the divine ancestors and nature. As we light the 12th candle, we honor all New Thought philosophies as a path of adherence to the universal spiritual principles of love and law. As we light this final candle, we honor the multiplicity and diversity within the wholeness of creation as sacred. Namaste, and so it is. Our reading for today is by Maya Angelou, and it's Still I Rise. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dust, but still like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I'll rise. Do you want to see me broken? Bowed heads and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't take it awful hard, 'cause I'll laugh when I got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise? that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting in my thighs. Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from the past that's rooted in pain, I rise. In a black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find God, I find
There is only one life, one love, one joy, one laughter, one beautiful divine expression of everyone and everything. It is that space where everything flows from. It's a place where the birds fly from, where the trees grow from, where the little crawly things are expressed from and move along the land. It expresses us. Every single one of us. It's that divine force that we call God. And only God. It is everything and everyone and everywhere, in all places, in all people, in all things. Because there is no place where God is not. In every single human being, in every child with their love, in every hair on the head of every human being, or lack thereof hair on the head of every human being, God is. Period. And wherever God is, there is perfection, regardless of the appearances, regardless of our judgment, regardless of what we are and who we think we should be. God loves it all, as each and every one of us, just the way we are. And knowing this is our truth, knowing that we are loved, knowing that we are beyond condition, the very power and the very presence of God moves through us, as us, living itself, expressing itself through each and every one of us. I know that this service is done in divine perfection. I know that as Reverend Rafe shares, his words touches minds and hearts. It opens them up to receive and express all the very good that life is. And it's all good. It's all fabulous. It's all perfect. It's all complete. It expresses each and every one of us here in this room, and each and every one of us out there, and each and every one of us in the world, and each and every one of us in the entire universe, regardless of the form. And I release this knowing it's done in mind and form, and so it is.
Oh, gee, isn't that joy? Ancestors say the spirits, we weren't too fond of incarnating. Yet, all spirits came into the body following the sound of Creator. Embodied presence, you have been entrusted. An of an infinite spiral. Here, your heart pulses in its place in the web of interbeing. Reach deep into the legacy of the ancestors, the ancestors, the ancestors. Open fully to the vision of the future, the future, the future. You are the medicine. Life is the ritual. The ritual, the ritual, the ritual. We offer this ceremony to the winged breath, the dancing fire, the rooted earth, and the water of life for all our relations, our relations, our relations. In bowing to our noble origins, we open new timelines of regeneration. Regeneration, regeneration, regeneration. Release your resonance into this timeless dream, awakened.
Thank you. Let's take a breath together. So ordinarily I would slide this out of the way, except it is falling apart. And so if I slide it out of the way, it may not be able to move back. So we're being gentle with it. We have a new one on the way. So, our theme for the year, open at the top. Our April theme, the practice of becoming, which is a bit misleading because you already are. But we'll talk about that. And today's topic is living with presence and deep awareness. And I want to acknowledge that in the Christian tradition, today is Easter. In the pagan traditions, it's a lot of different things. The goddess Estero, the whole Easter bunny thing. Rumor has it there's actually a pagan event, Naked Gardening Day. I actually know people who have participated. I am not one of them, but good on you, or good off you. I'm not sure. And so it's a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And in a Center for Spiritual Living of Common Ground, well, that's just kind of how it is, right? There's a lot of different traditions in this room. There's a lot of different practices in this room. There are kids in this room. I don't know if you got an Easter basket or not. I got a smile. I'm saying maybe it did happen. Excellent. Right? And so we all have our thing, as it should be. This morning, what we're going to talk about is this idea of crucifixion and resurrection from a metaphysical perspective. And I want to invite you to consider the tomb as a womb, not as a place of death, but as a place of birth. Right? I want to point out that even in the Bible story of Jesus, the part that is often not talked about are the two moments in the Garden of Gethsemane where Jesus was like, yo, Pops, if there is a way out of this, let's do that. I see what's coming, and I don't want to do this. Now, why is that important to recognize? Because in Science of Mind, we hold Jesus as the great example, not the great exception. And so the example is doubt is normal. That we can be aware of our spiritual path, and sometimes our spiritual path may have some challenges that we would probably rather not negotiate. Right? And it's okay to have doubt. It's okay to go within and explore, is there another way to do this that isn't going to hurt? Our question this morning, what if all this spiritual growth is just too hard? Right? I can't coordinate this stuff the way that it happens, but could the question be any more perfect for today? You know? I love how Spirit does what it does as us. So what if it is all too hard? And what if too hard is just a perspective that we created because something inside of us hasn't learned that it's okay to doubt? What if too hard is just the story we made up because nobody gave us permission to question? What created us did. It gave us free will. It gave us the capacity to question. If we weren't supposed to question, we wouldn't have the ability to question. Do you ever think about that? If what created us didn't want us to question, we wouldn't be able to question. It has the power to do that. Right? I don't know if trees get to question where they're standing or not. I don't know. But I know I've never heard one complain. Right? I don't know what their internal process is. Does it matter? I don't think so. Here's what does matter. What is your internal process? And are you aware that it's your process? That it's not happening to you, that it's happening by you. That your internal narrative is written and recorded and played on playback by you. Nobody else. You are the producer. You are the editor. You are all the characters in it. Now that's the good news. Because you are all those things, it is 100% within your capacity to change it. If you don't like the story you're telling yourself, have a new thought. We're a new thought faith tradition. I dare you to have some. Hey, if you don't like the ones you're having, pick a different one. Even if you don't like the new one, at least now you're in the movement of different. At least now you're in the movement of different. There's two quotes I'm going to work with today. The first one from The Endless Practice, Becoming Who You Were Born to Be by Mark Nepo. The point of experience is not to escape life, but to live it. Each of us carries some wisdom waiting to be discovered at the center of our experience. And everything we meet, if faced and held, reveals a part of that wisdom. We have a language of truth growing in the heart, in our heart, that can only be decoded by living. Okay. And an Ernest Holmes quote from page 270 in The Science of Mind, A Philosophy of Faith, The Way of Life. And I'm going to read this in general neutral terms. We do not exist to make a lasting impression upon our environment. Not at all. It is not necessary that we leave any impression. It is not necessary, if we should pass on tonight, that anyone should remember that we have ever lived. All that means anything is that while we live, we live. And that's in all caps in the book. We live. And that wherever we go from here, we keep on living. Now, why those two quotes? Because the first one addresses experience. The preciousness of it, the purpose of it, the necessity of it. That everything you came here to learn and be is happening in every moment that we call experience. You can't be something without experience. You can't express without experience. Right? And you can't relive an experience that has already happened, and you can't live an experience that hasn't happened. You can think about it. You can get lost in the mental spin about it, but you can only experience in this moment of now. That is the only place experience lives. So why the Ernest Holmes quote? Because too many of us are busy trying to intentionally experience something to leave a legacy. Which means your whole point of experience is in the future that someone else is going to experience, not you. That's what your legacy is about. It's not about you. It's about what somebody else is going to experience and the story they're going to write about you. You're not going to be there to experience it. I don't know if that occurs to you. But you're not going to be there. You're here right now. And in order to be aware, and this came to me while I was writing this talk. I want to make sure I read this exactly the way it came. Awareness is a spiritual practice. Being aware in the moment requires us to be honest about what's in our awareness. You get that? Being aware in the moment requires us to be honest about what's in our awareness. What am I paying attention to? Because if I'm unwilling to tell the truth about where my awareness is, what's in my awareness is somewhere else. It is not in the present. It's either in the past or it's in the future. While everything in me is here, my awareness is somewhere else. So I'm disconnected from myself. Right? I am disconnected. We talk about the crucifixion. Are we not crucifying our divine self every time we abandon our divine self? Are we not hanging our own self out if we don't actually be present with ourselves. You're the only one that can be present with you. I can't. I'm busy being present with me. And magical things happen when I show up fully present with me and you show up fully present with you, because now the divine gets to commune with the divine. Fully present. And magic happens when that happens. The resurrection happens when that happens. Think about resurrection and what resurrection actually is. Resurrection simply means to reclaim something, to give life to something that has become stagnant, to raise again. This morning, Reverend Frank read Maya Angelou's poem, I Rise. We get to resurrect anytime we choose. We get to wake up. We get to come to an awareness of this moment and resurrect what we've put to sleep. Now here's the reason I'm looking at the tomb as a womb. Because birth is continuous in creation. And so when we go into that tomb, maybe it's a necessary thing. Maybe there's some part of us that it's appropriate for it to die so that we can resurrect what it's been hiding. We talk about ego, and we talk about ego from a place oftentimes of slaying it. Ego in the science of mind, and you can check your book in the glossary. This is what it says. Ego, the I am of the Bible. The Christ. The perfect idea of God. In metaphysical, what did I do with that? In metaphysical terms, the ego refers to the real consciousness of humans, the real self. Ego is the human manifestation of the infinite. Now, psychology defines ego very differently, and that's fine. But when you're talking about your ego, I invite you to talk about your ego the way the divine sees your ego. It sees itself animated as you. The human form of the infinite is the ego. Why would we want to get rid of that? Why not be present with that? Why not embrace that? Why not give birth to that? Why not give birth to the infinite in human form over and over and over, which requires us to be fully present in the moment? See, if I'm fully present in the moment with God as me, then I am automatically fully present in the moment with God as you. It's instant. Because there's no separation. And so if I understand me, the truth of me as an infinite animation of creation, that automatically gets extrapolated to everything else. Because if I'm in separation, I'm not understanding that. There's a lot of real estate between knowing about something and knowing something. And so I'm inviting you this morning to move from knowing about who you are to knowing who you are. to be the activity of resurrection. To simply breathe in, I am. I am. I am. And to know that every experience you have is the I am expressing as you. That the I am is expressing in partnership with every other version of itself. And when we're fully present with that, nothing is too hard. Hard doesn't even exist as a concept when we're totally present with what is. Easy, hard, those are points of separation. When we let go of those, we are left with what is. Can't possibly be hard because it doesn't need to be easy. It just is. And so that, beloveds, is what I invite you to resurrect today. To resurrect your isness. To let all of the qualifiers of polarity die a natural death. Right? If you have a plant at home and you just ignore it long enough, it will die. Just will. If you ignore the polarities, if you ignore the qualifiers long enough, if you just keep coming back to what is, they will die a natural death. You cannot kill them because to do so, the more you focus on them, the more you feed them, the more alive they become. The only way is to stop and bring your focus back to the awareness of the present, what is. Just what is. Let's take this into prayer. So with this breath, I recognize it is the breath of the infant breathing itself, individualized as this body I call Rafe. That I am in the company of it individualized as each person here, as our online community, as people that are watching this later, whenever later is in this physical realm. And so I claim and affirm that we are each remembering our isness, remembering our I amness, remembering that we are Christ consciousness. And as we become aware, we activate that in experience. And experience becomes our life. And I'm grateful. I am grateful that the word spoken is the word fulfilled, and so I know with absolute confidence that it's already done. It was done before I spoke it. And so I celebrate the risen. And I invite you to join me as we release this into our experience. As we say together, and so it is. Let's take a breath. So I'm going to turn this over to Frank. Let me get his place here. There you are, sir.
like to invite. If you have any challenges, please reach out to me and a board member and or Reverend Rafe. Our giving affirmation slide, and here we go. Please join me in doing and confirm. Now I'm stumbling. Okay, please join me for affirming our community's prosperity. I affirm that the abundance of creation is my abundance. I give freely as creation gives to me. I give through this Center for Spiritual Living to ensure its continued availability to all spiritual seekers. Can I have the ushers come up, please? Or to be willing to be ushers? Thank you.
So, how beautiful you are. And how beautiful was that reminders, all those reminders that we just allowed to soak into our bones. That kind of says a dream of contemplation time, and I think I'll have to share that another time, because being in the presence, I was asked to share another poem from James Samuels, Dear Heaven. And yeah, okay. Is there a heaven? And is anybody there? Are the angels in the water drowning in somebody's tears? I'm a spirit, and I know I am unfolding in change. But if we only have a moment, let's cherish this moment we make here now. I promise to release you from your fears now. Take me, and my world will kiss the sky. The sun has no defense for you and I. You and I. Oh, maybe it's your kind of way. Maybe this is heaven's gate. Maybe I'm your king, or maybe I don't know a thing. Maybe you're too far away. Maybe you know God awaits. Maybe it's your touch, or maybe I just dream too much. But you're beautiful. Everything. You're everything and more. Will you still love me if our world begins to change? I don't know what is to happen, but I know we're set to remain. You have held me when I was settled in the cold. But if we only hold this second, let's treasure this second we hold here now. I promise to tears now. Take me and my world will touch the sky. The stars reserve a space for you and I. You and I. Oh, maybe it's your kind of way. Maybe this is heaven's gate. Maybe I'm your king, or maybe I don't know a thing. Maybe you're too far away. Maybe you know God awaits. Maybe it's your touch, or maybe I just dream too much. But you're beautiful. You're everything, everything and more. You're everything, everything and more. And more. Yeah. Dear heaven, dear heaven. Whew. Just come on, my Frank. While Frank's coming on, I just want to say right now, because being in this point of awareness and in the present moment, I am vibrating with your presence. I'm feeling the energy in this room, and ancestors call it namana. Namana. Namana means together. Together is the great mystery that connects all things. Yes, yes, yes. And I'll leave it at that because, wow, it's why the rivers know where to flow. It's why the trees know where to grow. It's why we reach for the music, and then inside us, every note, every sound becomes a healing prayer.
Can you hear me? Okay. Okay, got it. Apparently the live stream couldn't hear me earlier. Okay. We are a self-supporting community giving our time, talents, and treasures in sacred service to and with one another. You may have noticed the common thread of service in our Member of the Month. They got engaged in service, and that service grew their connections within the community and grew their spirituality. Information about the different ways you can serve are available at the welcome table. Please feel free to take a peek. Now it's my privilege to thank everybody who helped make today's service possible. Our hospitality team and service host, Mindy Derrick. Our welcome team member, Gary Hart. Did I miss something? Oh, I did. Sorry. Okay, guys, we're going to step back a second. I forgot to bless the offering. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Is that better? Okay. So I'm just going to say thank you, God, for the blessing of the offering. We know that it serves us as community and helps us to grow continually. And, of course, I'm just very grateful for all of you for dealing with my little mess up. Thank you. And so it is. Okay. Okay. So we're going to be thankful to our hospitality team and service host, Miss Mindy Derrick. Yay! And our welcome team member, Miss Laura Service. And our video and live stream text, Jesse Dabbs and Zeta Johnson Betts. Yay! Our audio tech, Vaughn Dabbs. Yay! Our online engagement team member, Miss and Member of the Month interviewer, Miss Deborah Ellis. Yay! Our ushers, Charles Lewis and Miss Dale, wherever she is hiding, or maybe wherever. Okay. Our speaker, the fabulous Reverend Ray Ellis. And everyone who assisted with setting up, and everybody who's going to help tear down, please. Thank you. We thank you each for attending, and thank you for allowing me to serve as your reader and practitioner this morning. Okay, prayer support is available. There's 3 ways to do it. You can request prayer by an email to prayer@cslcommonground.com. There's a prayer request form at the table over there. And then I'm available for anyone who would like prayer after service outside. So we're asking everyone to keep socializing to this room so that person can have some privacy and the noise is low. Okay. If you desire prayer beyond what we're offering now, there are practitioner sessions, which are much longer sessions of prayer and some spiritual coaching. So you can reach out to your available practitioner. They set their own fees and their own times. This week's affirmation, I invite you to just listen as I read this week's affirmation. I live, move, and have my being within the womb of life itself. Now let's read that aloud together. I live, move, and have my being within the womb of life itself. Okay, I think this is where I turn it over to you.
And so just a couple of quick reminders. If you are interested in getting connected and serving your community, info is on the table in the back. You can also talk with folks that are already doing it, and they will get you connected. Women's Circle is Tuesday. Check out the calendar in the newsletter for how to access that. Upcoming class, if you're interested in that, please sign up so I know how many are coming. Whether or not it'll actually happen depends on whether or not anybody actually signs up. So there's that. Next week, the path of vulnerability. We're going to talk about the preciousness of vulnerability. Felicia Taylor will be our musician next week. Now, several of us will be at the CSL convention during the week. That does not mean I'm not available to you. It means I'm available to you by text, telephone, and email, but not in person, because the commute from Reno back to here is a little prohibitive. So I will have the center phone with me. They're working days, so I will be as available as I can be. If you do have an ecclesiastical emergency, please reach out so that I can get you connected with someone that is physically here. Don't not call because I'm there and you're here. We have resources, okay? Also, you may have seen the special announcement that went out about the Centers for Spiritual Living business meeting. There are positions that are up for election. In that announcement are ways that you can look at those candidates. Eamon and I are the delegates for this community. Our job is to carry your voice to the convention and vote on behalf of the community. If you have opinions about those candidates, if you have questions, if you have any input at all that you would like us to carry with our vote, please reach out and let us know, and you can do that. We are interested, okay? All right. So now, that's pretty much it. So here's the thing to remember. We do this together. We create it together. We create it for each other. But if we don't take it out of here and do something with it, we're kind of wasting it. So take it with you. Live it this weekend. You don't have to tell people about it. If you actually live it, they'll be so curious, they'll ask. and then you can tell them. All right. I invite you to stand. Let's sing our closing song, which is our call to action for this year. I stand for love. All right. Here we go.
These times are troubling me so much I can hardly see through the walls keeping us apart. You got your views, I've got mine, but we're together in this moment in time. Hope you can hear me with your heart. I'm not trying to push you away, but I've got something I've got to say. I stand for love, I stand for peace, I stand for humanity and the good of all. I stand for hope, I stand for faith, I stand for freedom and the good of all. I stand, there you go. I stand, would you stand with me? I stand, I stand, I stand, could you stand with me? When we don't understand, we turn away instead of learning that there could be another way. Can we agree to disagree? We may never see things eye to eye, but we can hold on to the love between you and I. It's the only way we'll survive. And I'm not trying to push you away.
You sound fabulous.
I got something I've got to say. I stand for love, I stand for peace, I stand for humanity and the good of all. I stand for hope, I stand for faith, I stand for freedom and the good of all. I stand, I stand, I stand. Would you stand with me? I stand, I stand, I stand. Oh, could you stand with me? Now I stand, I stand, I stand. Would you stand with me? I stand, I stand, I stand, I stand. Could you stand with me? I stand for love, I stand for peace, I stand for equality. Would you stand with me? I stand for truth, I stand for kindness, I stand for freedom. Could you stand with me? I stand for hope, I stand for justice, I stand for faith. Would you stand with me? I stand for life, I stand for love, I stand for compassion. Could you stand with me? Could you stand with me? Could you stand with me?
Have a fabulous week. I love you.
By December, we'll get the song.
These times are troubling me so much I can hardly see through the walls keeping us apart. You got your views and I got mine, but we're together in this moment in time. I hope you can hear me with your heart. I'm not trying to push you away, but I've got something I've got to say. I stand for love, I stand for peace, I stand
and the good of all. I stand for hope, I stand for faith, I stand for freedom, and the good of all. I stand, I stand, I stand. Would you stand with me? I stand, I stand, I stand. Could you stand with me? When we don't understand, we turn away instead of learning that there could be another way. Can we agree to disagree? We may never see things eye to eye, but we can hold on to the love between you and I. It's the only way we'll survive. And I'm not trying to push you away, but I got something I've got to say. I stand for love, I stand for peace, I stand for humanity, and the good of all. I stand for hope, I stand for faith, I stand for freedom, and the good of all. I stand, I stand, I stand. Would you stand with me? I stand, I stand, I stand. Oh, could you stand with me? Now I stand, ooh, I stand, I stand. Yeah. Would you stand with me? I stand, I stand, I stand. Oh, I stand. Could you stand with me?